Okay. Right, guys. How are we this morning? It is Building Wealth Wednesdays. How are you doing? And yeah, I trust you are doing really well. It is Wednesday midweek. How's the week going so far? Okay, I must admit, it's been crazy here. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, we're just finishing off a challenge, preparing everything for a challenge. Yeah, it's just been an absolute rush and trying to fit doing videos in between the guys sandblasting around our building. It's been chaotic. Anyway, right, let's get to it. So my name is Judy V, and I work with entrepreneurially minded people to be financially empowered so they can have the freedom that wealth brings. I'm a speaker, international speaker, author, and also entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years, so I know a thing or two about building wealth. I've had phenomenal success. I've also had outstanding failure. And honestly, it's the failures that have given me the greatest gifts. It's the failures that have given me the most magnificent insights into the truth about wealth building, actually. But anyway, what I actually want to speak about today is something very, very specific. And to be honest with you, was my saving grace. Actually, it was my absolute saving grace when I did have a spectacular failure. Okay, so that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about your bulletproof account. Okay, because if you don't have a bulletproof account, you most definitely not financially empowered. Okay, I have this saying that any area of life that you're not empowered, you're going to be overpowered. If you're not financially empowered, you are not empowered in life, because all your energy, all your focus, everything is going into making sure that you have enough at the end of each month to pay for your basic needs. That's where so much of your energy is focusing. That's where you've got there's where you are focusing on lack, on scarcity. And when you are focusing on that level, that's the level at which you're vibrating on energetically, because at the end of the day, we're all energy. And that's what we're going to be attracting more into your life, okay? So that's why if you're not financially empowered, you're not empowered in life, because all your energy is focused on lack and scarcity, all right? Makes sense. So one of the surest ways I can tell you in which you can be financially empowered, you want to know what it is? And that is to have a bulletproof account. Promise you. When you have that bulletproof account, everything changes. And the more you build that bulletproof account, the more everything changes. I promise you, it is the most life-changing, wealth building, foundational, primary activity you can do. What is your bulletproof account? Think of it like your immortality account. I've called it a bulletproof account, okay? It is a bank account or somewhere that you keep money, right? Cash money, and you add to it every single month, okay? You add to it every single month without fail. You put, okay, now here we go. You put a minimum, ideally, of 10% of whatever you bring in into that account, okay? All right, so maybe you might say, oh my God, I can't put 10% away. All right, that's okay, I'll give you that. If you find that you can't do 10% right now, that's no worries. What can you do? I guarantee you can put 5%. You won't notice 5%. You can put 5%, and next month 6%, following month 7%, until you get to 10%, okay? Every single month, you just put 10% away into an account, and an account that you never, ever, ever touch, ever, okay? It is purely your bulletproof account. It is purely the foundations of your wealth building. That's all it is. That's its sole purpose, okay? 10% per month. Something I learned from Dr. John Demartini was that every 3 months, you increase that 10% by 10%. So 10% of 10 is 1. So in 3 months' time, after you've put in 10% every month, you increase it to 11%. Then after 3 months, you increase it by 10%. So 10% of 11% is 1.1. So then it's 12.1% you're putting away for 3 months. You will not notice it. You will not notice it. Once you get into the habit of doing it, you will not notice that 10, 11, 12.5% and so on going away from your account. And something magical happens in the process. I'll go into that in a moment. So this goes into an account that you do not touch. You don't touch it, okay? It grows and it grows and grows. And last time I said that to somebody says, well, what's the point of it if you never touch it? What's the point in saving it if you never touch it? The point of having it there is the foundational principle of your wealth building. Can you imagine having that cash resource as it builds up over time, what it will build to, okay? And you never touch it. Can you imagine it getting to a point in time, a sum of money that means that if you do not bring in any money for the next 6 months, for the next year, for the next 2 years, for the next 3 years, it does not matter because you have your bulletproof account. Do you think that will give you financial empowerment? Hell yes, it will. It will 100% give you financial empowerment. It changes everything. It changes everything. Not alone does it give you resilience, okay? It's giving you financial resilience, okay, by its very nature, but it's doing something far more powerful, far more exponentially powerful. It is giving you, self-worth. It is growing your self-worth because you are important. You deserve it. You are claiming that you deserve it. You are owning the right that you deserve to be financially empowered. You are consistently putting that money away. And when you're consistently doing it, your level of self-worth grows, your level of self-awareness grows, your levels of inspiration grows. You climb up that ladder of consciousness where you are resonating, you are energetically living out of lack, out of just need. You are now in abundance. And what do you get when you live in abundance? More of it. So when you're incrementally increasing your bulletproof account amount every month, 10%, 11%, 12.1%, and so on, so on, so on, you will not notice it. You will not notice it. You will not notice it because you'll be bringing in more. Because money is nothing but the physical manifestation of spirit. Money is the effect. You are the cause. And what you are causing by having a bulletproof account is growth in self-worth, growth in self-awareness, growth in deserving, knowing that you deserve the freedom that wealth brings. That is what happens energetically when you do that. And that is the cause. That is the cause. And always wealth is built on cause. It is never built on the effect. Get what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? There's a very clear difference. Money is nothing but the effect of the cause. And you are the cause. Okay, if you've got lack and scarcity around you and you don't have enough at the end of each month and you're worried that your car might break down because you do not have financial resources to do anything about it, or if you're worried that your child comes home from school and he wants or she wants to go to a boot camp and you can't afford it, that's scarcity, lack, fear, shame, guilt, regret, all of that low energetic contracted state where you like close in and every cell in your body closes up into contraction, and that is what you get back from the universe. The universe meets you halfway 100% every time, all the time. All right, that's what you get because you fear, you're worried. Turn it on its head, have a bulletproof account, and no matter what, your car could break down. You could have twist your ankle on the street. You could have 5 children coming home needing to go to a boot camp. And you know you have the resources should you wish to use them. But here's the thing. Here's the magic. You will find that you won't want to use your bulletproof account. And you won't need to. because the very act of actually having a bulletproof account changes everything. It changes you to the core of who you are. Can you imagine? In the first month, it might not make any difference. Second month, it might not make any difference. Third month, fourth month, it will start making a difference. It feels good. You are putting yourself first. You are declaring to the world, the universe, yourself, most importantly, that you deserve the freedom that wealth brings, and you are taking action. You are taking action, and you are declaring it, and you are being it, living it, breathing it. You are it by constantly putting that money away. And then after a few months, you see it piling up, piling up, piling up. Then after a year, after 18 months, you've got like 3 months, 4 months of resources that if anything happened and you stopped exchanging time for money or stop working or doing whatever it is that you do, it does not matter because you have the resources there. I know people who started off with practically nothing, putting away practically nothing, and within 3 years, they had 3-4 months resources. Okay, that's starting with practically nothing. So imagine if you're putting aside 10%, just 10% each month, what that's going to do for you. Changes everything. On an energetic level, you are declaring that you deserve the freedom that wealth brings by having a bulletproof account. So why would you not do it? Energetic, it's not about the cash that you're putting aside. Forget about the actual cash you're putting aside. Think about the cause behind it, the logic behind it, the reason behind it, and how empowered you will be as that bulletproof account grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. That, ladies and gentlemen, needs to be your base level for your wealth building. Everything you do from going forward, once you have your bulletproof account in place, everything you do is on top of that. Never, ever, ever try and build wealth without having that in place. Because not only is that vital in terms of practicality, all right, obviously, all right, not only practically is that vital, logistically, practically, and all that, sort of like, tactily, right? It's also vital for your self-worth, your self-esteem, for how you view yourself. It's vital for your level of inspiration, your level of confidence, your level of self-awareness, all right? And the more of that you have, the more energetically higher you will be vibrating on or living on and interacting with life around you. And the more you are the powerful cause of your effect. And what that means is the more you will energetically be bringing in more of the manifestation, the physical manifestation of spirit, which is money. Okay, because when you are not locking in to scarcity, you're locking into abundance, and when you do that, more comes in. I have seen it over and over again. I have seen it hundreds of thousands of times, and I tell you something else, it saved my banana. Oh my God, it sure as hell did. It sure as hell did. Now, back when I had one magnificent failure, I remember when I said I started, I've had many businesses. I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years now. Oh my God, yes, I'm that old. 25 years. And I have had incredible success. Oh my God, I've had incredible success. But by golly, I have had one monumental failure. Okay, as I said, I did learn the most out of that failure than anything else. But in that failure, I did have a bulletproof account. It saved my skin like you've no idea. Jeez, it saved my skin. And did I call on it? Flip, yeah, I did. Okay, all right. Looking back on it, I wasn't I wasn't as disciplined with it, okay? And that's partly why my business failed, is because I let so many fundamentals go, so much. I was so much in my ego, and I wasn't working from my heart. I was driven by ego, pride, shame. I was all those low vibrational states is what I got caught up in. And that's why my business failed. It's one of the reasons why my business failed, right? And I stopped funding that bulletproof account as well. But at least I had something, and it saved my skin. It literally saved me from being on the streets. Literally. I cannot express how important a bulletproof account is as your foundation for your wealth building. Once you have that in place, can you imagine you have that foundation in place? You have 4, 5, 6, 7 months of cash resource in a bank or wherever it is you want to keep it safe. You've got that built up, you've got that. Can you imagine now when you're looking at the next stage of wealth building, how empowered you will be, how inspired you will be, how self-aware you will be. You will not be looking to build wealth from a place of lack. You'll be looking to build further wealth from a place of inspiration. When you're building from inspiration, anything's possible. Anything's possible. You will see limitless opportunities. And this is something that I often tell my trading clients as well. It's something I tell my entrepreneur clients, is that is what you need to have in place. If you need to at least start it. I'm not saying don't do anything until you have a year's worth there. I'm not saying that, okay? Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that. But at least start it, okay? It's got to be something that you have. It's your foundational, it's your fundamental. I don't use that word very often. I'm not a fan of that word, but it's your foundation, it's your fundamental, and it's your foundations of your wealth building. Okay, so let me know when you open your bulletproof account. Okay, an account that even put a direct debit through. Okay, or you physically do it. You know what I do? I stay away from direct debits as much as possible. And here's the trick. I stay away from direct debits as much as possible. Nothing against direct debits or standing orders, unless it's by law, like some bloody insurance company or something like that, you know, where you have to have a standing order. But generally speaking, I stay away from direct debits because I like to physically pay. Because money needs to move. Money needs to have a purpose, okay? It's like in your bulletproof account. Your bulletproof account, the purpose of that is to give you the foundations of wealth building, all right? So money does need to move, right? It's not about hoarding money. All money needs is, it needs a purpose. So whenever you're taking 10% out or 11 or 12.1 and so on, and you're putting it into your bulletproof account, that has a purpose and it will powerfully serve you. Remember the effect. Money is only the effect, and that effect will powerfully serve your cause, right? So you've got that's money that's flowing into your bulletproof account that has a purpose. But when you're paying bills, I have as much gratitude when I'm paying a bill as I do when I'm getting money in. Because money has a purpose, all right? And money needs to flow. And therefore, when I come to month end and I'm making payments, I prefer to actually do it manually. Yes, it takes me time, but it's something that's high on my values, to appreciate the flow of money, to appreciate people who've given me service during the course of the month. So therefore, I like to physically pay it. I also like to physically pay my bulletproof account every single month. I like to do that. I'm not saying it's going to be for everybody, but for me, I like to actually physically do it. And it's an important concept. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. It's talking about having gratitude for the bills that you pay. Let's talk about that next week. It's very important, and I'm going to put a different spin on it for you. But it's a very important concept about having gratitude for the bills that you pay, and it also contributes to your state of inspiration as well. I'm going to just say one other thing. I said it yesterday, I think, before I go. Never, ever, 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 ever just settle for what you need. Okay, I said this the other day. I said it yesterday. Never, ever, ever settle for what you need. This is vital. Write it down and do not forget it. It's so important. If you settle for what you need, right? So let's say what you need is there. If you're settling for what you need, just one iota drop from that is scarcity, isn't it? Does that make sense? Just if that's what you need, just one little drop down from that, you're straight away, you're in scarcity, you're in lack. And what are you going to do when you're in scarcity and lack? You're going to contract. Okay, that's what's going to happen. You're going to contract. And that's where you're going to live in shame, fear, guilt, and regret. right? All those contracted states, all those lack states, that all you will be doing is bringing more of it into your life. So what I want you to do from now on is settle for what you would love. So what you would love is up here. What you need is down here. In that space of settling for what you would love, you've got a lot of leeway, don't you? Got a lot of leeway. All right, you can go up, down, you can go up, you can go down, you can go up, you can go down and up, and you're never in that one tick below need, scarcity and lack. So never, ever, ever settle on what you need. Always go for what you would love. You've got way more flexibility, way more, and no matter you're in that flexibility, you're still in abundance. You're still in an expanded state, an expansive state. Makes sense? Very important. The more you're settling for what you love, and what will help you settle for what you love is also having that bulletproof account. That will help you being in that state as well. We need to do whatever we can, as quickly as we can, as soon as we possibly humanly can, to get out of the contracted states and into the expansive state, climbing up the levels of consciousness that opens our heart, opens our level of inspiration, grows our self-awareness, grows our confidence and certainty. And the more we do that, more we step into knowing and absolutely owning that we deserve the freedom that wealth brings. It is your birthright. All right, guys, hope that was useful. Have a fantastic day. And I'm off now. I've got a webinar tonight, and we're launching a challenge tomorrow. So all crazy here at the moment. Anyway, take care. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you soon.